What's up, everybody? Welcome to IGN Game Scoop. I'm your host, Damon Hatfield. Joining me this week is Justin Davis,
Scoop.
Sam Claiborne,
Scoops,
and we're very lucky to be joined by Per Schneider here on the show today.
Guten Tag, Damon.
Guten Tag, as well. Willkommen.
a very Tag Guten to you, sir.
Thank you very much.
We've got a great show for you this week. This is a very special show. This is the 450th episode
Is that true?
of Game Scoop. Yes, episode 450. And to celebrate,
You just counted those all up?
I went back through and counted up every single episode to make sure.
It's a huge pain.
Yep. There's no other. I don't know.
Every show.
I don't know how else we would do it. To celebrate, we have something very special for you, our dear listeners and viewers. We are giving away $450 worth of PlayStation Store credit.
So if you're watching,
Wow.
you turn that on its side. That's a thick card there. Don't look at that.
It's many cards.
There's
This is
many
actually
cards.
when we floated this idea past PlayStation. Thank you, PlayStation. We said we're going to want to give away $450 in PlayStation Store credit. Well, they come in packs of 10, so it's actually $500.
Whoa.
Oh, man. This is 10 $50.
We're about to do 50 episodes.
$50 cards for the PlayStation Store. But, ladies and gentlemen, that's not all. Not only are we giving away $500 in PlayStation Store credit, we're doing it twice!
What?
Since we owe them 1,000 episodes.
Because we have our podcast audio listeners and we have our video viewers on YouTube, so we want to take care of both groups of people. So one from the audio camp will win and one from the video camp will win. So here's what you need to do. For our audio listeners, obviously make sure you're subscribed to the show. If you're the audio listener, email us at gamescoop@ign.com with 450 in the subject, and take a little screen cap of your little podcast app that shows that you're a subscriber, and give us a 20 questions suggestion. And if we pick you for next week, you will be the winner.
I like it.
And for our video viewers at youtube.com/gamescoop, it's a little bit easier. Just comment in the comments section with 450 and your 20 questions suggestion, and we can see everyone who's a subscriber down there too. So
This is it's episode 450. So
Yep.
we're giving away $450, but actually $500.
yeah.
Actually, 1,000.
So this takes care of.
But actually 1,000.
So don't expect anything for episode 500. We're taking.
Oh,
care
you
of
take
this.
it out. I see.
Yeah.
But why don't we just keep one of those for ourselves,
No.
and then you could give away $450 worth?
No, Justin. Everything we do is for them.
I could buy
out
the
there.
Everybody's Golf DLC.
out there. No.
See, the 450th episode and the 500th episode, it's kind of like having your birthday next to Christmas.
Yeah,
You just,
that's true.
you just really get
You get boned.
I see you having trouble finding the tally light too.
I
It's
never
for
know.
them,
I know.
them,
I never know where I'm
them,
supposed to point. There,
them.
Yeah, this one now.
It's a long tradition
Shall we
on
play a
NBC,
game,
too.
Sean?
Yeah.
Anyway, stay tuned next week to find out who will win these fabulous prizes. Now, on to this week's news. Let's talk about the big games that are out this week. Obviously, the biggest game out this week, a big sequel that everyone's been waiting a long time for.
Here we go.
You're aiming at Knack.
Knack 2
That's
is out
what you're
this
going
week.
for.
Knack 2 is out this week.
It's
PlayStation-
not bad.
PlayStation 4 exclusive. We gave it a good score. We gave it 7.2,
No.
which is probably a full point improvement over the last game. I think the last game was about a 6. If I
I was gonna say more. I think. Well, okay. I'm not sure. I think
good.
the original did lower than that.
Now it's a good.
It's a good.
Now it's a good.
Yeah, and so with 7.2 from IGN. Have you guys anyone notice what the top comment is on our review?
Nope.
Well, I saw your tweet.
Well, yeah, it's pretty good. It's just the word "nope" spelled K-N-O-P. And
Okay. very
regardless of how you feel about the game, I think that's
That's
pretty
pretty funny.
clever.
It's
pretty
it's
funny,
trolly, but you know.
Have you ever met
funny
a Knack
Cajun.
fan? I'm serious. Like I played a little bit of the first one. I haven't started with the second one
they
yet.
call them knackers.
Are there knackers? Are there like
don't know.
diehard fans who really like these games?
I don't know who. I don't know who was waiting for the sequel.
I know of one.
Yeah. Who's that?
I don't know.
Steve's son.
Editor-in-chief Steve Butts' son.
So maybe it's a younger audience.
Loves
Yeah.
Knack. But there's also maybe it's a younger audience, or maybe he's just a weirdo that loves Knack. Like, you can't extrapolate too much.
He said it.
Yeah.
No, I mean, like, so obviously Nintendo has a lot of younger fans. Xbox has Super Lucky's Tale for this fall, and so, PlayStation has this is their like exclusive kids game, right?
Knack reminds me of Cameo.
Yeah.
Cameo.
So I
rare.
actually,
That was a rare game, right?
I actually enjoyed Cameo, but like the
fine.
character design looked really weird, right? Like it felt I don't know. There wasn't anything likable about the character and the look of that game. And I feel the same way about Knack, where I look at the gameplay, I'm like, that's clever. Like the concept of a hero made from all these little particles is really cool.
Yeah.
And like obviously it was supposed to show off the power of the PS4 to keep track of all those little particles. But
you don't like
he's
what the
not
character looks like.
No, it looks like a bad Muppet Show.
You're talking about
reject.
the little shovel guy?
Both.
That is?
I
Or
don't like
big
the
one, too?
character
Yeah,
design.
both. Knack as well. Yeah.
All right.
It's not offensively bad. It's not like some awful game, but it's just kind of doesn't like. And then I'm talking about the original here. It was just like kind of boring and forgettable, and then it was just a disappointment, and it was weird. And it only got that backlash because they had built it up so much.
Right.
It was just a game that came out, and nobody would care.
I mean, I saw it as kind of like early system kind of, game demonstrating the power of a console. We saw that in the past on the PlayStation, if you remember, what was it, Kylek the Blood and games like that.
What?
Where, like, when you see them, you guys don't remember that?
heck was that?
You see it running, and you're like, oh, that's really cool. And then you play it, and you're like, that's not so cool.
PS2 had what, Fantavision, the fireworks
That's
game?
right, Fantavision. There you go. But we hear this one's better, so
It's supposed to be better.
I'll take a look.
7.2. Although I must say, maybe 10 years ago I had time to play a 7.2. I don't know if I do anymore. Those days maybe.
there's some good 7.2.
I mean, by
good- it's a
definition,
good-
By
yeah.
definition.
I don't have time for good games, only great games.
I know it's true. There's just too many games now.
I feel that way about TV.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing. It just shows a 7.5. I don't know. Narcos season 3. You only have a 78 on Metacritic. I don't know.
Also, it's mostly in Spanish, and I don't know if I want to read all that.
No reading for me. 2 Nintendo games are out this week. Lego Worlds comes to Switch. We gave that a 7.2 when it came to consoles.
oh,
and
so
PC.
you can't play it.
Earlier this year. No, I'm not gonna play Lego Worlds. Nothing against it. I'm just like,
I actually think.
There's other things to
I mean,
play.
everyone's entitled to their own opinion. I thought Lego Worlds was pretty bad.
yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
The last Lego game I liked was Force Awakens. I thought that one was really fun.
That was a cool game.
It's a fun game. And Monster Hunter Stories comes to 3DS.
That's right.
This week, which kind of flew under the radar to me. As far as I understand it, this is more of a turn-based RPG series or edition of Monster Hunter than the mainline Monster Hunter series.
Yeah, Casey's on
game,
that
yep.
review.
Yeah. And of course, the biggest game out this week, Destiny 2.
One of the biggest games of the year.
Definitely one of the biggest games of the year. Yeah, very high profile game. Our Destiny master, Destin Legary, is working on his review. He's playing the game live streaming right now.
I'm a little bit. If you ever want to see a man pass out on a video game live stream, this is a good. You should
Maybe
probably
it's your chance?
Yeah, this may be your chance because man, Destin.
Well, he streamed all day yesterday too, right?
Yeah.
And he
So-
came back.
To be fair, I mean, when the first one came out, I was pretty obsessed with it too in the very beginning, and that's because we got a team of 4 players together, and then you just kind of do the one more round, and you keep playing. And I'm a huge fan of co-op games, and I don't know how many hours I put into it, but it was north of 100 hours for the
I
first
played a
one.
lot of Destiny 1 as well.
And but I was aware of its shortcomings too, right? Like the story and the lore were really weak. It had all these repetitive elements, but like there's just something about Bungie's shooters, the way they feel. I feel like the controls just feel so great.
Yeah, well,
And, like,
There's a lot to latch onto and make fun of in Destiny 1, just the incomprehensible plot, as you said. People sort of gloss over like the core, like aimed on the sights and shoot an enemy, and like your grenades being on a timer and your melee on a little timer. Like it all comes together into a really, really satisfying moment-to-moment combat feel, in my opinion.
And it feels great. And like
yeah.
the little server events were cool too, until you became so used to them that they weren't special anymore. But like obviously with DLC downloads afterwards too that add a little bit more new life. Like I actually really enjoyed it. I know the first one we gave in the 7s.
that true?
The review, yeah.
don't even remember
I think
now.
it was a 7.8 or something.
that's 2013. Is that right? That's when.
No one knows.
No,
And we'll
no
see
way.
how this one
No way
turns
to
out,
know.
right? Not scored yet.
Maybe it was 2014. I don't remember. So do you see yourself, Pear, jumping back into Destiny again?
So I ordered 2 copies. I have 3 kids, and they love playing co-op, Halo or Destiny. So we're definitely going to
Knack
play.
has co-op now.
I feel like I need to buy 2 more copies, though, otherwise they'll start killing each other.
Yeah.
Over that.
So you're gonna
Yeah,
dive back
absolutely.
in.
Yeah, we're gonna
All right.
play a ton of it.
I'm gonna try to hold out for the PC version, but it's gonna be hard with.
That's till November.
no October.
Or is it
it's
October?
next month.
Okay, so it's just a month behind. I don't know. It seems everything I've read and seen of Destiny 2, it seems like they have addressed many of the shortcomings of the first game. But it is a game as service, and I don't know how realistic it is for me to like play this game every day.
It's just a time issue for you, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
I mean,
Other
I
games.
I have a family, and so I managed to turn it into into family time,
Yeah,
right?
that's
Like we played in the evening, like for a couple of hours with the kids, and
What
then
a good
they went
life
to
hack.
bed. And, yeah, so that worked for me.
Yeah.
There's no split screen, right?
Not
I don't
in
think
the
there
new
is.
one,
No.
no.
There's no
So you
split
guys
screen
just do different rooms.
on any game anymore.
Yeah, we have 4 PS4s.
Yeah, that's
And
land.
4 Xbox Ones, but we're getting it on PS4 because of the earlier release
Yeah.
stuff.
Well,
the
yeah,
better support.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
true. And then Sam, I know you're a big fan of Bungie's older games, with
Yep.
like Halo and stuff. But how do you feel about Destiny 2?
So I'm trying to feel it out because John Ryan and Destin and a few other people are trying to like cook straight through the single player. And I know Destin only got through a little bit of that at the preview event. Like, I don't know, he said like 2/3 of the way. But every time I asked them about it, they're like, well, that's not really what Destiny's about. But yeah, I'll let you know how it is. And they said it's better this time.
Yeah.
But like, doesn't sound like it's trying to draw me in.
Well, that's a totally valid perspective. Like, and they're right. Like, that's not what Destiny's about. And, you know, it's a sum of all these really interesting things. But if someone just wants to blast through the campaign and nothing else, like, is that enjoyable? Is it worthwhile and entertaining? And does it tell an intriguing story? Yeah, I'd be curious to know that too.
I over the shoulder was watching John play today, and he was like doing this area where there's like lasers through the whole area, and you have to like duck and like kind of platform through them.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, it actually looks like it's not one of the. Cause I did play Destiny. It looked like you weren't just like doing infinite bullets into a sponge of an enemy.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this looks a little bit different. He's like, really? And then he like turns a corner and just does that. But I mean, and that's not a knock against it. Again, like that's what you like about it.
I never, when I started the first one, I never went back to think that I'll play it alone again. It was always a team play opportunity for me. I didn't get into versus at all. I just played cooperatively the whole time, and like that's what I'm looking for in Diablo or Destiny 2. Any of these games, it's all about playing together.
Yeah, and you play Splatoon.
Yeah,
right
we
now,
play
so-
Splatoon co-op, Salmon Run, obviously, all that.
I'm a big fan of seeing numbers pop out of things.
Yeah, that's
Me too.
That's
Very
always an improvement, I think, in every game. That was actually novel for me when Borderlands came out. I was like, this game is so crazy. You shoot people and numbers fly out.
Yeah,
it's the
it's great.
craziest thing
So
I've ever
classic
seen. Now it's
PC.
just like,
Yeah.
totally expected.
When I ask people like Destin about Destiny and like about the universe, because I'm vaguely interested in that, they don't have they have no idea. It's like
Even-
you,
yeah, even like the
after
hardcore
playing it,
Destiny
and I
fans.
know again it's because they're playing all these other things, but like
Yeah.
I'm like, so are there aliens from other solar systems? Do you ever leave the solar system? I'm like really curious about this kind of thing. Like I don't really know. It's
I think
unclear.
cutscenes were always pee breaks for people playing together.
yeah,
You know?
that makes sense.
So I'm wondering, like, are they developing a cool sci-fi universe? Because Bungie did that at one point, and it
Yeah.
was amazing. And
They
now
are.
it's in so many other types of games.
It's funny to see them pull back so hard on the first game was very mystical and very. I mean, there's wizards and even in like the terms
Yeah.
that they use to describe these characters. And now they seem to be dialing so far back on like the Obi-Wan Kenobi and dialing up like the Han Solo. Like they did a hard right in like the way that game feels.
Which started in the DLC apparently.
Yeah, they fixed some of that in the DLC, and that's really why Cade 6 has been so elevated. Very much trying to be more swagger and entertaining, and
Yeah.
less, and even
More
in like the
humor
music and the soundtrack, like it's a very different game presentationally.
Well, Destiny 2 is out now. We look forward to checking that out. But let's share what we've been playing recently. Who would like to go first? I know Sam and Per have been playing.
We've been playing a game.
Something new.
We're allowed to talk about it, but I think we've been playing Metroid, and
Return of Samus.
Metroid Return of Samus. I'm reviewing
Samus
it.
Returns.
Is that what it is?
wow.
It's
that's
Metroid
right.
colon Samus Returns.
Okay, I always get that.
The original
Based
was
on
yeah.
Metroid 2
Yeah.
colon the Return of Samus.
Got it.
But it's so loosely based on it. Like I don't think you
It's actually
even need
it's
to
pretty
know.
loose, really.
Oh
It's
my
a
gosh,
little
yeah.
skeleton that is the original game, and then they just went.
I mean, it's
just
retelling
added
the
all
plot,
this
right? But the
stuff.
game itself is like completely different.
It's a
Yeah,
bounty
in as
hunter
much
story.
as the first game has a plot. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like you're just killing the Metroid.
Kill all
on the planet.
Metroids.
Yeah.
Kill them all.
But that's what's cool about it is that you're a bounty hunter, and this game is about you going on a bounty hunt,
Yep.
and it's not for like these dumb designed anthropomorphic aliens like it is in Metroid Prime.
You take
Hunters.
That back. Oh, okay.
Hunters?
I'll give you that.
Remember that one?
Okay. Yep.
It
Yep.
was a DS game.
Yeah, not a big fan.
Yeah,
of that.
yeah. But this game
Didn't you
go-
look
there's,
around
like-
with the stylus?
Yes.
Yeah.
Or the little nub you can
use
put on
the
your
nub,
finger
the
with
the finger strap.
yeah, I remember
strap,
that.
the little pimple, finger pimple.
But what I will say is that we can talk about other games here because we should talk about this a lot more on NVC this week, which is recording tomorrow, and then it'll
Be up on Friday. Yeah.
And we'll definitely share more in-depth thoughts. But definitely, like I'm still playing the game, and it's a lot to play. and it's like a bigger game,
Big game.
than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
And I think that's really cool.
It gives me real Super Metroid vibes, just kind of
very
the
Super
feel, the control wise. It gets a couple of things out of the way right in the beginning. You get this melee attack, right? So when an enemy charges you, and a lot of enemies in this game will like see you and like come at you,
Make a little
you do this instant kind of almost rhythm game timed like swipe to knock them back, and then you auto fire and can take them out. And it actually adds a lot more to the flow.
Do you know you can do that in the air?
Yeah.
It feels so good. Like it's like fighting game style controls.
So you can go, like in Metroid games, sometimes you have to stop because there's something like boring out of the ceiling and you got to wait a second. Like this game largely does away with those waits. You can run and counter more, but of course there are all sorts of, places to fall down, little hidden blocks that break under your feet. The one negative for me in this game so far is the bosses that I've seen so far are very similar because they're the Metroids that
Metroid
you hunt,
bosses, yeah.
and they're not the original Metroid design either. They're like
Yeah,
you're,
they're weird, like the
you're hunting a stupid looking Metroid basically.
like the Alpha Metroid and all
Yeah.
the weird evolved ones.
For this audience, for Game Scoop fans, something we talk about is Metroidvanias on here, and we talked about how they're all based on Metroid, Super Metroid, really. And this game, is made by that team that made Super Metroid, or at least one person, which is Yoshio Sakamoto.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
worked on Super Metroid. Like, how
really
cool is that? He also worked on Another M, I know. But this is a 2D
baby.
styled Metroid. You don't worry about the graphics. Like, it looks great. That's not going to be a problem. But
Looks
like, yeah.
pretty. 3D is really good in this game.
Super
Like you
cool.
want to play it with a 3D slider up.
Yeah.
I know most people who have a 3DS at this point do not turn that slider up, and you actually do get a little better frame rate if you turn it off in Metroid 2. But they actually spend a lot of time on layering the environment.
So
and
much going on when you look into the screen.
You'll see like a bigger monster crawling around in the background, like in 3D, a couple layers back, and it looks just really
Like
cool.
ones
with,
you recognize from old
smoke
Metroid games that aren't necessarily in the game yet. Like those big things on like two legs.
and
the little-
cameos.
Yeah, there's little cameos. It's really funny.
The second time we've talked about cameos. That's
right.
This episode.
But
Cameo is better than you remember it to be.
I bet.
The
I,
original.
I never
You can
played
roll into that
cameo.
ball. But my point is that we used to get well, first of all, on the 3D, it's not Lords of Darkness. Like it's not like that. That hurt Castlevania. The people that made this game with Nintendo made the two 2D Castlevania games on 3DS, which
Mirror
have-
of Fate.
polygonal
They have
ones.
polygonal.
Mirror of
Yes.
Fate, I want to say, was at least one of them. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, is that not what it's called? It's not called Lords of Darkness.
Well, it was like, so it was the handheld spin-off.
You're
of
right.
Lords
You're right.
of
That was the big
Shadow
show.
of Fate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But this game runs smoothly,
Yeah,
as like
and-
butter smooth,
And it
looks
has all
great.
the like everything's 2D. Like it feels 2D. It just has a different style of building that 2D. But so that's good. And then also I was gonna say like there's no Metroids or Castlevanias coming out yearly now. It just
it's
hasn't
been
happened. And that's
long time.
and it's so sad. So it's good to have this. And I just remember that feeling of like every fall like having a game like this to play. And now indies have picked that up. I think it's great that there's Axiom Verge and that Owl game and like all kinds of stuff they're doing.
Say Algam, you mean Ori and the Blind Forest?
No,
Owlboy.
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 And then Ori. Yeah, I mean there's all
You
these
get
indies.
the advanced
that are doing
worse
this stuff.
clones coming now too, so
Yeah.
we'll see a little bit more support from indies for these
Totally.
games. Yeah,
Yeah.
But no,
It's so good to play one though.
So far, it's really you get this sense of nostalgia. You start the game, the music is exactly right. It's like it's got that audio fidelity of a Metroid Prime. It sounds amazing. Yeah,
Nobody talks to you. You're just completely alone
Silence.
the whole time. Yeah. Just you and monsters. After that theme comes in a little bit after you kill like a big enemy. And it's just like kind of tinges in there for a
a
second.
little in the background.
That was really good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's awesome.
The audio design, even on the NES original, that audio design is
so good.
incredible.
The
You like it?
Genius.
And they have remixes of like the the Lava World, the Norfair, like dun 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 dun. They have the remixes of that. It's really good.
So it's out later this month. Who's reviewing that for us?
I am.
Sam is reviewing it. Oh my gosh. Another
Samus
You
Sam
can,
review.
you can
Claiborne.
review
Samus
read that review
Claiborne.
on Tuesday.
Wow. Okay, that's a big deal. It's exciting. I've been playing Mario plus Rabbids.
I've been.
Oh, me too.
You guys are playing that too, Justin. Have you
Nope, not
tapped
yet.
into this one yet? Well, I can.
I'll get into it in a minute, Damon.
Okay. Well,
I had to win you over, right?
what do you mean? No, I mean as soon as that game was revealed, I was on board.
Oh, you were.
I was
Okay, you were
skeptical when I heard there was a Mario and Rabbids
Gotcha.
crossover.
Just like
game.
Because remember
everybody
talking
yeah.
about that.
I
against
was like-
all odds.
Yeah. But
It
then when
turned out good.
when they revealed it as an
Very good.
XCOM like game at E3, I was like, all right, I'm on board with this.
Cool.
Yeah, and I got it last week. I've been playing it every day. I love it.
That's what the X in Mario X Rabbids stands for.
Mario XCOM Rabbids.
I still, I mean, it sounded so weird because XCOM obviously is all about projectiles, and like Mario's got his fireball, but nobody's ever picked up a long-ranged weapon or anything. So it
Got
seemed like
bazookas
a
in
weird
there.
crossover to me. Like,
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, the vacuum is the sniper.
Yeah,
yeah,
I know.
But you're absolutely right. It totally works. It's like cleverly designed. Like I feel Ubisoft did such a nice job making a game that looks and sounds and feels like a Nintendo game.
Yeah.
The music,
Some of the music,
music
is
is great.
so
takes
good.
you all the way back to like Banjo-Kazooie.
And it's
Yeah,
the
like,
same
sure.
composer.
Yeah.
When you're in
I
that
was gonna say it's
sand
Grant
area,
Kirkhope, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it is the same composer. Yeah,
when you're in
music's
like the
great.
sand desert, you got that right.
I'm in World 2.
Too, yeah. When you walk on patches of ice, the instrumentation changes to the
That's
Christmas
so
Eve jingle.
Banjo-Kazooie.
That's really
That's so
And if you're on
Banjo-Kazooie.
the Civic War Adventure, it's really cool.
Yeah, no, it's like it's colorful. It's got a lot of personality. There's lots of secrets to find in the world. Like
they're
in
good,
between
too.
battles, there's lots of secrets to find.
Good chaining of attacks.
Have you run into the difficulty bump yet?
Well, there's
the special
challenges.
Yeah.
The challenges are like they're super hard, even though they're labeled as very easy.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, I'll do a very easy challenge until I get my ass kicked. It's like it's crazy. I guess you're supposed to come back to
You come
those
back to 'em, yeah.
At
later
least
in the
have
game.
different characters.
So it has. Brendan showed me one challenge where, Toad can't jump. Everybody knows this, right? And so even in this game, you can't jump off Toad. He's just basically this escort mission kind of object that you have to move around and prevent from getting destroyed. And there's a mission where you have to get him past like a row of chain chomps, but he can't jump. And like he'll be exposed to the chain chomps unless you distract them. And Brendan I think he had tears in his eyes when he was trying to beat it. It's
doing it?
just so
Was it a challenge
brutally
one, too?
hard.
Oh
Yeah,
my
it's a
gosh.
challenge mission.
Oh man.
Yeah.
No, the game's
Poor
great.
Toad.
I'm thoroughly enjoying that one.
Yeah, if you, I mean, honestly, think it will be fun to people who are not into XCOM games as well.
Yeah,
Because
I've
it's
never played
much
an
more.
XCOM game. It's so
I love
cool
XCOM,
learning
but this is
I do
so
too.
playful, and XCOM can be super frustrating because you'll shoot at somebody from far away, and you think you're gonna hit him, but then the game does the little RPG roll of the dice in the
Yeah,
background, and
this
you
has
miss,
that.
and that may mean that your character is dead forever. And this game
Yeah,
is a
permadeath,
little bit
yeah.
less unpredictable. It's
would
like
say,
50% chance, 100% chance, 0. It shows you.
Be interesting if there was permadeath. Oh my god.
Mario.
Mario, I'm sorry.
Mario.
He's
Poor
dead.
rabbits.
It's Mario.
Yeah,
And they have the
it's-
Mario Rabbit now. Great.
It's not quite as difficult as XCOM is, but the game's no cakewalk. Like it's not like
Challenges will make you angry.
It's super. It gets hard.
like really
I hear
clever.
like World 3 gets hard anyway, right?
Yeah. Yeah. No, the area I'm in, I died a couple of times, and like, but I always feel like it was my fault. I was playing risky and I wasn't paying attention where
I'm
some
just
of
being-
the
sometimes I'll just
warping
get
enemies
sloppy
go.
and
Yeah.
not paying attention to my flanks.
Yep.
Do you guys want to play this one more portable or this one more on TV?
I've been playing on my TV.
Yeah.
I've only really played portable
I
because I've
stayed
been
portable
traveling,
this
so
one. Yeah.
I've been playing it in the plane and everything.
Yeah. When I put it on TV, it slowed down a little bit, but it looks cool blown up.
Yeah, no, it's great on TV for sure. And Justin has been playing,
Oh man, everybody's golf.
which
are
I
playing it?
Mario and Rabbids sounds good,
wanna
and I'm
review
sure Metroid's great. But everybody's golf. Once you have that, you don't need other video games. That's all you need. I also don't need my family or anything else. Formerly known as Hot Shots Golf.
I'm actually very excited to jump into everybody's golf because I am also a big Hot Shots golf fan. And,
I didn't have-
and
I
the
didn't-
Mario golf games.
Yep.
I never had a Vita, and like the last Hot Shots Golf I played it must have been a decade ago. Like
Yeah, totally.
Hot Shots
I
Golf
mean-
1 on the PSP, and I think there was a sequel that I didn't get around to, and then the Vita version that I.
Well, I think that studio made a golf game for the Wii also, but the
I
name
missed that.
used motion controls, but the name of it escapes me.
And it's like I've played like real last golf once in my life, so I'm not like a golfer, but something about arcade
Oh, yeah.
golf games just feels so good, and they so have that formula down. It's hard to even articulate what makes it so good if you haven't spent time with it, but it's very accessible but still challenging. It's not like it's hard, like time your shots and hit the ball, but the sense of humor is really weird and quirky. Its online play it's almost MMO-ish in the sense that you enter a course and then you can just run around that golf course and there's other players running around and you can zip around in a golf cart and then you can just golf wherever you want. Like you can run up to like hole 5 and just golf, and there's hidden stuff around the course, like around behind buildings and things like that. And you level up, like the more you use a club, the better you get with that club. So there's like a progression system that doesn't feel too grindy, but still makes you feel
Does
like
the
you're
open
getting
world
better.
hurt the game?
No. It's great.
And do the courses get crazy, like the kind of tricks and traps and everything?
Well, I'm actually not. They get crazier as they go.
Yeah.
So they start out very conventional, and then they get weirder and more. I mean, it's not like it's not Mario Golf. They never get completely crazy. But
What's the point of playing the holes out of order?
I mean, it's just an option. Like you can just run around this
I think
golf.
you just
course,
have the
like,
freedom to.
Yeah.
You want it your
Just
way.
like real golf.
Yeah. Exactly. If you go to a real golf
Who's gonna
course
stop you?
and walk up to hole 5 and start playing, no one's gonna mind.
No one's gonna
Everyone's
stop
gonna be
you.
totally fine.
What are they gonna do? Wrestle
It's-
you to the ground?
And it's like it's the highest of
gloves?
highs when you get a chip in from like 50 yards away, but then the lowest of lows. Like I was kicking ass, and I was on the final hole.
No.
The final hole, Damon, and the ball I hit a bad shot. And it landed in such a way that I was like, it like landed like under a bridge. And I'm like, oh, how am I gonna get out of this? Like,
So we finally found the thing you're passionate about.
Love
It's
it.
golf.
love
Arcade golf.
that
do.
game.
I love arcade golf. I can't
And
wait
I'm,
to play it.
and I'm glad that they pulled the Band-Aid off and just call it everybody's golf.
It's
I mean, that's what
Dragon Quest, Dragon Warrior thing.
It's a Dragon Quest, Dragon Warrior. Well, yeah, and
It's
it
called
used to
that
be
in
Hot
Europe.
Shots
it's
Golf.
called that in Japan.
And so
Mina no go to food.
I do actually really like the name Hot Shots Golf, but just for the sake of it's 2017, and let's just give things one name.
Yeah, that's true.
And I also, just because I'm a maniac, I started Persona 5 last night.
Oh, I did see you tweet about that. Yeah.
Okay, so I've resisted.
Yeah,
I've heard it's amazing.
yeah.
But then I see that time commitment.
Yeah.
I know. I've just said I
100
was
hours.
going to play Destiny 2, but
I mean, I don't know.
Scary.
I don't know who I'm fooling or what I'm thinking. I have about 2 hours to play video games in the evening. So, like, am I just playing that game for the next 50 days now?
mean,
I don't know that I thought this
you
through.
can stay up later. You're not
Yeah,
that
I mean, I'll
old.
sacrifice my sleep. What I like about it so far, and I mainly what appeals to me about it are like the life sim elements, like buying snacks for your characters, and it does things for your stats, and you can go to the movies, and you can fish, and like all the weird, the life sim elements more so than the RPG parts of it. And I'm not into any of that yet.
It seems like you gravitate towards things in games that we do in real life.
Yeah.
No, I really like life sim.
I love buying snacks.
The Deadly Premonition guy has a new Kickstarter Fig campaign for a new like life sim style game, and that made me want to finally give Persona 5 a shot.
Boy, did you guys try Uncharted at all? I
Yeah.
played it.
I haven't gotten around to it yet.
I got
I'm about halfway
to
through.
the very end of Uncharted before I left for
nice.
Germany. But yeah, I don't know. I felt like I got enough out of that game.
Really? I'm halfway through.
What's funny to me is I played 2 hours of Persona last night, and then the back of my head, because I know that Uncharted's out right now too, I'm thinking about how differently they treat time and play time. And in 2 hours, I fought some battles and met some characters, but like I was thinking about like how much crazy stuff would have happened in Lost Legacy in
Yeah.
like that 2 hour time frame.
Yeah.
Like I would have gone on a whole adventure in the time that I like
You'd
went
be-
to school and
You
met
would like
met
jump
my
between
teacher.
3 countries.
Yeah. And in this game, I made my bed, and I cleaned up the attic,
Oh boy.
Yeah.
and then I went to school.
That dude that you live with he's a real jerk.
Oh.
He starts to turn around a little bit later
I
on.
like his hat. He's got a cool hat.
Yeah. He'll teach you how to make coffee.
Man,
All right, let's check in with the listeners.
Hey, listeners.
Listeners, remember you can always reach us at the email address gamescoop@ign.com. Just like Josh from the small island of Newfoundland in Canada.
is it Newfoundland?
No,
Newfoundland.
Newfoundland? I
Why,
said it
why are
like-
you skeptical? Just because it's spelled the way
I
that
didn't
you
say
want to say
anything.
it?
I just made a face.
He says, I wanted to write to you guys about Nintendo's Nindies Showcase and why it made me incredibly excited to be a Nintendo fan.
Same.
The showcase was last week?
Yep.
That one was?
That's great.
Yeah, it's the second one they've done this year, I think. He says, there were tons of great-looking titles shown off during the presentation, including critical hits like Oxenfree and Kentucky Route Zero, as well as new games like SteamWorld Dig 2. Some of my highlights from the presentation were Dragon, March for Death, Golf Story, and Shovel Knight King of Cards. I love the look of sprite-based games because I feel like they never age. Super Mario World still looks and plays great. The 2 games I wish were showcased in the presentation but were sadly left out were Wargroove and Tiny Metal. Both look to be heavily inspired by Advance Wars, which happens to be one of my favorite Nintendo franchises. Sadly, Nintendo hasn't touched the series in a while now, so it is cool to see someone else take the ideas of the series and put a unique spin on
Which is
it.
the one you got the flyer for?
Tiny Metal?
It said like
Well, I
Like
saw it at
Advance
PAX,
Wars.
and there was a guy standing in front of the booth
that's what it was, yeah.
yelling, "Are you sick and tired of waiting for new Advance Wars? Come play our game." So, yeah.
So they're
It's
being
exactly
pretty open about it.
Advance Wars.
So
Yeah, you're
he says, so my question for you guys is simple. What Nindies are you guys excited to play?
First of all, they didn't just show 20 games at the Nindies event, and Oxenfree was actually outside of that. They announced 16 more, so they're like 36 games shown in the course of a week. I think like over 30 new basically that we didn't know were coming to Switch.
Yeah.
It's gonna take a while, like just kind of getting through it and figuring out which ones are the true gems. But I got a couple picked out.
Yeah.
I mean, first of all, Super Meat Boy Forever.
Yeah.
Endless runner version of Super Meat Boy.
Oh,
I don't think
hold
it
on.
looks very good.
I didn't know that. I thought it was just another, like a remaster or whatever of
It's
Super
an
Meat
endless,
Boy.
it's an
but I don't
endless
know if
runner
it's
with procedurally generated levels.
I did not know
and
that.
sort of, some people are going to give you a hard time about that. The levels are not crafted by hand, and then they made chunks that they didn't stitch together in a semi-random way.
But they are designed on the fly to make you weep.
Yeah.
It's gonna be super hard.
What's
So
the perspective?
it's 2D, you know, Super Meat Boy.
Yes.
the little piece of meat that keeps bleeding as he runs around.
It's still that exact tiny.
Except
It's-
you
it
can
looks
play
exactly it.
Slime Son right now,
Yeah,
which is very much like Super Meat
I like Slime Son, but it's a little bit more puzzly. It takes its time. This is super quick reaction, right? Like you got to jump off the walls to get around spinning
Got an attack
blades,
button
and
now.
yeah, it's super fast. I actually really like Nine Parchments. I played that before. Have you heard of that?
one's that? I haven't even
So
heard that
that's
one.
from. Do you know Trine?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
okay.
so it's
I
from
like
the
Trine.
Trine guys.
Two.
It's a 4-player game. It looks a little bit like Diablo, kind of like overhead isometric.
It reminded me of Magicka.
Yeah, you play as 4 wizards basically, and you have to destroy enemies with projectiles. It's gorgeous looking, very
Is it
pretty game.
cooperative?
Cooperative,
Like Trine
4-player. Yeah, so that one's awesome. You guys see anything good?
SteamWorld Dig 2.
Yeah,
Love SteamWorld
that's
Dig,
my
so-
next one.
really
Yep.
great.
And that's coming out. That's coming out this month too. So
Yeah,
I highly recommend that game.
and it runs so beautifully on the Switch. So I saw that version as well at PAX.
oh cool.
Runs smooth, looks super sharp, colorful, and unlike the original game, you can go into any direction now. You can dig any which way, and you've got kind of more elaborate boss fights. Looks really.
Those guys do-
Morphe's Law.
I love SteamWorld Heist.
Morphe's Law is so silly and dumb. I love it.
This is weird.
That's the one where you're.
I just showed it to you.
Yeah, you shoot people and their heads grow smaller and your butt gets bigger.
No, your head grows smaller if I shoot your head, and yours gets smaller. So I steal your mass.
Yeah.
If you shoot someone, whatever body part you're shooting them in shrinks, and then you get bigger and bigger and bigger.
But that makes you easier to hit.
Correct.
Is that the idea?
So
But
that's the balancing act.
It's 4v4. You win if you're the biggest. If you're the tallest person in the battle, you win. And so, of course, the taller you are, the easier it is to shoot you.
It's
you
just
could
such a
shoot
clever
people in the
idea
butt
that-
or in the head.
If you're terrible
Yep.
and you keep getting smaller and smaller, you get harder to hit. Like it's a natural.
okay. Yeah,
balancing act.
that is pretty clever.
We don't know yet if it's fun to play, but
yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
sure.
it's a great idea. I mean, it's a really
How many
funny idea.
shooters are there on the Switch too?
Well,
One.
Splatoon, right? So we'll see. There'll be a Call of Duty eventually.
Dude, the Switch.
That's a big prediction. That's a bold thing to
Scoop.
There will be one.
the Switch being such a hit has been so wonderful. Well, hopefully it will turn out to be so wonderful for indie
The holiday
developers.
season.
Yeah.
Think about if you're making, a game like SteamWorld is maybe in Meat Boy, they are games that can live on their own. But if you're making like an indie game that's hard to break through, you can be on the App Store, and grovel for scraps there. Or you can be on Steam where now there's like 20 games coming out every single day. Like Steam is not
probably
like
more
the
than that,
guaranteed
right?
success that it used to be. Like
Yeah.
the volume of games coming out on Steam is quadrupled what it was year over year. And so now Switch, that gives you a chance to like sell your $10 game to people in a way that like other avenues are kind of tying up for smaller developers.
Yeah, and it's not that hard to port some of the games. I mean, like one of the bigger games, Mulaka. They're most of the games, by the way, are multi-platform, right? Even though some were announced as Switch exclusives, that doesn't mean forever. Some are launching on Switch first, but are also on Steam, and some are already out elsewhere.
Well, none of us are game developers, but the word on the street is that the Switch is pretty easy to develop for, the way that the system architecture is. It's not that challenging to get your game on Switch. And like you see this borne out through this, hey, we got a hit console. Now here's these 20 smaller games coming to it. Like if the console weren't as big of a hit or weren't as easy to port your game over to, this wouldn't be happening.
Yeah. So why are you not freaking out over Golf Story, by the way?
Golf Story looks
That
cool.
Sounds like
Does it
Justin.
look like
It's a-
everybody's golf?
I mean, I don't.
No,
it looks
it's
like
more
Mario
of a
RPG.
story. It's,
It's
like
more
a
like-
golf RPG.
It's a golf RPG, a pixelated golf RPG.
I think there's actually like a mystery you're solving, like a plot you're like working your way through, and then
there was a
golfing
murder on
along
the
way.
golf course.
That may actually not be true, but there's something like that. Like it's a golf RPG. No, Golf Story looks great. I don't have a single game to single out just because I watched all those trailers and I'm like, I want to play like all of them.
No more heroes, though?
I was really, really impressed.
That's a
with
big
all
one. No
That'll
more
come out the
heroes.
same year as Death Stranding, I bet.
Kentucky Route Zero.
I've been
I've
playing
heard
that on
good things, but I
PC.
haven't. I never played that one. Yeah.
I mean, I've said on this show before that for me, the success of the Switch and that console turning out so good, it squeezed out the Xbox and PlayStation. I have everything. I have a gaming PC, an Xbox, a PlayStation, and a Switch. And now I have no reason to ever play a multi-platform game on Xbox or PlayStation. If I want to play it in the highest, flashiest, fanciest way possible, I'll play it on PC. And if I want it in the convenient form, I'll play it on the Switch. So for something like SteamWorld Dig or Shovel Knight, now I'm really stuck with like, do I get this on Switch or do I get it on Steam?
Yeah, for me, it's Switch just because of the portability factor.
Yeah.
You know, there are a couple of games that I really liked on the PS4 or the Xbox that, you know, I would go back to and play.
Yeah.
You know, not just Skyrim, like a game that is so time consuming that it'd be nice to have on a 10-hour flight to Europe. But there are other games that I feel like if I had had the time to play them, I would have played them and I let them go. But on the Switch, I will find that time because I have that device anywhere I go.
Yeah.
Binding of Isaac really thrives that way. on the
Right.
Switch.
Like, exactly. Those are some great examples.
Speaking of Shovel Knight, they announced King of Cards,
Yep.
the last piece of the treasure trove content, and they're apparently adding some sort of card game to Shovel Knight. That's
Why not?
probably up our alley, Justin and I's alley.
Relevant to my interests.
And I do think Wargroove looks cool. That's the fantasy Advance Wars.
Oh, yeah.
The other Advance Wars.
The other, but this one's the fantasy one.
the first one you were talking about, I haven't heard of.
Tiny Metal.
I
right?
haven't heard of Tiny Metal.
It's like polygonal Advance Wars.
Polygonal Advance.
Yeah, like
Well, it's just like it's top
perspective
down and
is-
everything, but you can see the building.
And then the battles, it zooms into like cute little
Yeah.
animated battles.
Which you
between the
watch the
units.
first time you play the game, then turn them off. Exactly. Watch them again.
Yeah.
That's true. All right, we are in September now, and that means it's time to visit our retro magazine library.
Finally.
And today we've got the September 1989 issue of Electronic Gaming.
Look at that
Monthly.
man.
With that man, Justin.
Yeah.
Is Fabio.
I peed next to him at Comic-Con.
Yeah.
What?
In the bathroom.
Yeah.
Oh, thank God.
Did he recognize yours? I mean, did he recognize you?
Yours?
Look,
It
I
came out
embarrassed
really
him.
weird.
Embarrassed
Buster
him.
Justin. Look how they spelled Ninja Gaiden with 3 words.
Yeah,
Ninja
they do that all
Gaiden.
throughold the issue.
Oh.
They separate Gaiden.
It was the
all throughout
80s.
that
Nobody
thing.
nobody knew what they were doing.
They probably want to make sure you don't call it Gaiden.
People,
or
yeah,
something.
people are probably pronouncing it
Yeah.
Gaiden.
Maybe.
Oh, this isn't the issue, but Per, one of these issues recently, there's a code in here that will turn Samus Aran from Metroid into a woman.
Oh, good. How does that work?
Well, you enter like Justin Bailey.
What's
Okay, that's great.
the Konix
there's a new
16-bit?
system in there.
They
I've never heard of it.
it was a European. I mean, we're not going to get into that. Yeah, they have a whole feature on this European 16-bit
like a
system
PC?
that never came out, and it comes with like a whole like harness that like you strap into. It's crazy.
So, but my American friends, is this an ironic cover?
No,
This is serious?
Yeah.
this cover.
It's not only serious, but it's cool.
There was no irony
This
in
is
the
the
80s.
actual cover to the NES game Wizards and Warriors 2 Iron Sword. And they got Fabio to pose for the cover. For
And
our-
came with a poster of Wizards and Warriors 2 Iron Sword
with Fabio. For our millennial fans, he's a male model who his career was probably in the 80s and early 90s. And he did a lot of
romance novels, right?
novel covers. He posed for those.
Like he's a shirtless model.
yeah.
That's like, how do you
as a
really
pirate
sell
or
games
whatever.
to boys with him on the cover? It just seems
Yeah.
kind of like
boys.
the wrong target.
I bought it.
Certain
You
boys.
bought it. It worked.
I actually didn't have this one. I had the original Wizards and Warriors.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I really liked Wizards and Warriors, so it didn't matter what was on the cover.
that one just
too.
had a
That game was
drawing of a shirtless guy swinging a sword.
You probably didn't know who he was either, right?
cool. No,
You bought it?
I don't think he was pretty big at the time.
All right.
He
I
was
don't
very
think
big.
so.
He may be more famous now for
The roller coaster.
the roller
incident?
coaster incident. He was hit. This is a real story.
Yeah.
He was riding a roller coaster and he was hit in the face by a goose.
Uh-huh. It
Like a bird.
exploded on him.
Yeah.
And then there's photos of him getting off the roller coaster with this bloody face and a bloody nose.
Bloody nose and very bloody face, but still looks like very rugged and like put together.
Well, he took off his shirt, of course.
Still, I mean, it's basically your Hasselhoff. We in Germany,
Yes,
we own
exactly.
your Hasselhoff.
You own him.
Yes, it's our Hasselhoff.
I've bookmarked a couple interesting things in
Both
this
had a talking car too.
in this
Oh,
issue.
boy.
First of all, there's a whole a page ad here for Bad Dudes that calls out Double Dragon.
Oh,
Bad Dudes makes Double Dragon pale by comparison.
Oh,
Listen to this. It says, ask anyone who's played them both in the arcade. Bad Dudes is clearly the game of choice. It's no contest. Bad Dudes has better graphics, better action, better playability. From the arcade to the Nintendo to computer formats, you can count on a better game with Bad Dudes. And we're even available on more systems than they are. The joystick play is incredible. Fast, smooth, and responsive. And the gameplay and graphics of the home versions are amazingly true to the arcade original. Check it out for yourself. The martial arts excitement of Bad Dudes makes Double Dragon play like a dinosaur, one soon to be extinct.
Whoa.
Stupid
Well,
dinosaur.
My favorite part about this is
Or
that
double
it's got
dinosaur.
they have side by side screenshots. Us, them, but they look exactly
yeah.
the same.
It's like,
there's
Double
no-
Dragon doesn't look bad at all.
It's like I can't tell even what point they're trying to make.
It's really good. Sam and
In
I...
some cases, us looks worse
Yeah.
than them
Yeah.
because the picture is messed up.
Sam and I recently played Bad Dudes in the
We
arcade.
just played this.
And?
We played this level on the truck.
I like Bad Dudes. I had it on the NES. Sam's not as much of a fan.
Bad Dudes is awesome.
Yeah.
I just don't think the hair is as good. Look at the hair.
Yeah, I know. You think the Double Dragon has better hair?
Bimmy and Jimmy.
I mean, fast forward
Jimmy
to
and
today where we're playing Bad Dudes 9 already, and it's like one of the foremost video game franchises.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
Bad
That's
Dudes.
true.
Here's one of the letters to the editor that says, "Please, no more Nintendo."
Uh-oh.
This is from Christian Logan Batty from Fort Lewis, Washington.
Batty indeed.
Yeah, he's a corporal in the U.S. Army. He says,
Oh, sorry.
"I must say that you."
Corporal Batty.
I says, I must say that you people at EGM sure put out a top-notch mag. I would like to know, however, why it seems that EGM is shifting to more of a Nintendo magazine instead of more or less equal coverage of Sega, Nintendo, and other game systems. In my
Why
opinion,
we don't have people that write about this type of stuff.
Nintendo has enough mags of its own on the market already, and I buy EGM because I know that it covers all machines. Lastly, why is EGM starting to cover computer software? There are very few mags that cater to gamers, and even fewer that are worth talking about. Let the hackers buy their own mags and focus your energy on us, the few, the proud, the video gamers of America.
Whoa.
So wait. If you're talking about PCs and you're not talking about Nintendo, what are you talking about?
Exactly. This is 1989. The Genesis was just released. The Game
but it
Boy
was
is out.
just out.
The Super Nintendo wouldn't be out for 2 years after this. So it's just basically the NES.
Was he a Master System fan? Maybe.
I don't know. But also, why does he
Turbo
not want to hear
Lynx.
about? He didn't want to hear about computer games,
Get him out of my magazine.
Get him out of here.
and he didn't consider gamers people that played PC games. Apparently,
I remember that was, IGN was founded back in the 90s, right? And we shared the offices with some of the computer and games magazines. And there was always pushback when the console-centric magazines covered more PC games. You saw that with Game Informer too, where they had that kind of like PC corner and stuff.
Yeah.
Some people just don't like their PC games. And
Sam, in this issue, they review Friday the 13th for the NES.
I give you my review of that.
They gave it a 3, a 2, a 4, and a 4.
out of 10.
Out of 10, yeah. The lowest score, too, says a very poor game that displays little of what an action-adventure game should contain. The action portions of play are sparse, the adventure offers little challenge, and the whole thing is topped off with graphics that are just plain bad.
What's the high score say?
So one of the 4 says, they've got to be kidding. The graphics are subpar and the gameplay is average at best. There needs to be more substance for a game like this to succeed. None of the game elements, the action, the quest, etc., deliver any real punch.
That sounds just like the 2 score.
Yeah.
I know. But what's crazy about, look, all these reviews, they don't tell you what platform the game is on.
Hoops.
It's just all these
Too much
self-ATF.
Nintendo.
Steve Ed.
Super Thunderblade, I guess, is for the Genesis. But
didn't
like,
It doesn't say the
there's a
system.
King's Quest game, but I guess it's the NES version. I don't
King's
know. They don't have anything listed.
Well,
they do review Super Mario Land in here for the Game Boy.
I think the black and white ones are not on the NES.
Those are.
Yeah.
Those
Well, I
are
like
probably
Alleyway.
Game Boy
It looks like
games.
Legendary Axe was the game of the month.
That was a TurboGrafx 16 game. Yeah.
What's your score for Friday the 13th, Sam?
I was going to say straight 3s, but then I saw that there was a 2 and a 4.
So them not including platform, I didn't think was that big of a deal until I noted that they do include game difficulty, but they all almost say average.
Oh yeah. Well, baseball on Game Boy is easy.
Baseball is easy.
Yeah. They also include levels of play for every game. Super Mario Land has 12 levels of play. Alleyway has 32. But for baseball, not applicable.
What about Friday the 13th?
This is the age of where we had bullet points on the back of boxes.
Friday the
telling you
13th, no, not applicable.
number of levels, right?
Yeah.
That was the
But they
big
just
thing.
they didn't say NA, they just left it blank in this instance.
Yeah.
I want to point out this ad for River City Ransom. This is what it looks like, by the way. This is the ad for River City Ransom, and they made it look like they were interrupting like real copy.
So it looks like there's editorial copy, but then it's torn.
Native content, man.
And then it says, we interrupt this magazine to bring you this important announcement. The people who developed Mat Mania, Mania Challenge, Renegade, Double Dragon, V-Ball, and Double Dragon 2, The Revenge have just released their first Nintendo Entertainment System game, River City Ransom. For a preview, visit your nearest NES dealer.
Wow.
That's the ad.
Is there any, like, it's just random content?
It's stuff about the NES Advantage joystick. Yeah, just like blah, blah, blah about that. Let me jump to page 28 here. Oh, yeah, this is the gaming gossip section with Quarterman.
Ooh. Here we go.
Yeah, here we go. This is in September of '89. They were saying, while we're on the subject of Sega, Quarterman has an all-new appreciation for what their 16-bit Genesis machine can actually do. Although there isn't much that can be labeled daring or unique, carts like Ghouls and Ghosts are so good, they have to make Nintendo cringe. With third-party titles coming soon, Genesis has the goods to be a great system.
That version was not as good as the Super version.
Yeah.
But that's
Arguably.
Ghosts and Goblins, right?
Oh, I
Is that
see.
what it is?
That was Ghouls and Ghosts.
It's Ghouls and Ghosts. So Super Ghouls and Ghosts
I
came out
see.
after that and was able to iterate on it.
I see. Then the cringing was over then.
They have a report from CES that says Nintendo turned their back on the 16-bit Super Famicom during the CES and focused all of their attention on the Game Boy. The Nintendo propaganda machine never looked better than at the 8 a.m. press conference that announced the new unit. Nintendo's mascot, Mario, explained to the audience that 16-bit systems are not really the wave of the future and that there is no need for their introduction at this time because the NES is powerful enough for today's game players.
That sounds so much like
so
Nintendo.
familiar.
right?
Wow.
Customers do not want advanced graphics.
They don't want online play. It's fine.
They've done that a couple of times. That's funny.
Yeah, that's great.
And then listen to this. Nintendo's highly touted Dragon Warrior, Dragon Quest, isn't that special at all. Go play Ultima from FCI, and you'll practically get the same game.
Okay, they're not the same, but yeah, Ultima is good.
Yeah.
Practically the same game.
And let's see. Finally, he ends it on. On a happier note, he says, Bandai will be doing the video game version of Dick Tracy. Can't wait to see Madonna. He says, can't wait to see Madonna on a Nintendo screen. That's it.
Well, those were the days. A more civilized age.
Well, there was just another age.
I used to love the maps.
With paper.
Oh, yeah, all the thin around match. On page 33 here. Oh, yeah, we have Super Mario Bros. 3 watch, everybody.
Oh.
We got an update on Super Mario Bros. 3. The superest Super Mario of them all is now out at arcades in Nintendo's Play Choice system, and rumors have it that the game will be unveiled sometime next year on the NES to combat NEC and Sega's new 16-bit game systems. We'll keep you posted and let you know exactly when the #1 Nintendo game of all time is set to be released on these shores.
Just play Bubsy. It's basically the same game.
You can't you can't say things like that.
They said it, Justin. They said it.
But you know what? You couldn't complain back then. When you were reading that, you'd be like, that's not true. But you could just shout it out of the window.
You just send them a letter, and then they would print the letter and be like, "Shut up, nerd."
Hold this up to the camera.
And later on in the magazine, they have sections devoted to each platform.
Do you think in this issue, like, they forgot to fill this in with the actual graphics for the top of that page?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
This
and
is
there
the
was
Nintendo
no
player portion.
like they're just like, "Oops." Well.
Like a Nintendo logo, maybe?
This
or
is the update on what's going on with Nintendo. It says now that the Nintendo Entertainment System has penetrated such a high percentage of American homes, 1 in 5 by the end of the year, according to Nintendo's estimates.
That's so crazy.
It is now in a position to broaden its horizons and tap into markets that extend to other areas of gaming and even non-gaming functions.
Sewing machines.
Witness the recent partnership between Nintendo and AT&T, who plan to turn the NES into a communications terminal that will allow anyone to purchase stocks, buy airline tickets, and do other over-the-phone services. This is just one of the many directions that Nintendo will inevitably head, as it has in Japan, in the months and years to come. It is
Nintendo had all these
inevitable.
crazy aspirations. Like, it all turned into horse racing magazines online, but it all started with like crazy ideas of what you could connect to.
The internet was earliest conceived as two things: buying plane tickets and buying stocks.
That's it.
and controlling a robot.
And finally, we turn to the Outpost Genesis segment of the magazine for an update on the recently released Sega Genesis. It says, Sega of America shocked the video game world during the opening of the Summer Consumer Electronics Show when their 16-bit Genesis system was officially unveiled with over 15 different games available. This instantly put to rest rumors that the unit would not have the software support necessary to carry the 16-bit heavyweight. Beyond the bright lights and slick PR were an abundance of outstanding titles. Since NEC was absent from the main show floor, Genesis had the spotlight all to itself and did it shine. In addition to performing demonstrations on the new Telegenesis modem baseball game, Sega knocked everyone off their feet with more than a dozen games, ranging from early Mega Drive games like Space Harrier 2, Super Thunderblade, Alter Beast, and Alex Kidd. Sega showed many new games that have never been seen before, like Super Hang-On, race a motorcycle around the world, Rambo 3, a commando-style scrolling shooter with intense graphics, Red Belt, karate kicker from Activision, Forbidden Worlds, two-player combo action that is similar to Sidearms, Tommy Lasorda Baseball, great-looking and playing baseball cart that tracks the other 2016s while you play through the season, Soccer, Golf, Highlight Special, Last Battle, scrolling kung fu action, Thunder Force 2, multi-level horizontal and vertical shooter, Hollow Fighter, and the incredible Ghouls and Ghosts, a game which we would dare label the best home video game ever made.
Wow.
They did it.
Yeah.
Well,
Hindsight's 2020, but all those games universally are bad.
September 1989, Electronic Gaming Monthly.
It's funny. I mean, you see how the console started out with kind of arcade ports, right? Where Sega took some like Space Harrier, Hang On, brought them to this machine. And then 2 years later, you have all the great games on that machine, you know?
You could
This is years before the best
console.
games hit.
The best home video game ever made. Sam.
Ever made.
in magazines back then, you could do whatever you wanted. Just put it on the page. It's fine.
But
Yep.
they say in the same issue that Super Mario Brothers 3 would definitely be the greatest.
Well, it was a race at
Nintendo
that point.
It's the greatest Nintendo game.
Oh,
Different metric. All right, we have an email from Bailey in Cairgb, Wales. How is that pronounced? How is that pronounced in Welsh? Cairgb.
I am from Germany.
Cairgb. Don't you know?
Category.
Oh, that's a place in The Witcher, I think.
He says, thanks for a great show. I especially like Video Game 20 Questions, so I loved the bonus episode last week.
That was a good episode.
I have a game for the team to try. Sunday, the jukebox in my local is on free play. When I was in there yesterday, me and my friends played a game of A to Z. You have to name 5 songs beginning with each letter, but you can only have one by each band or artist. So that got me thinking about video games. So, can you think of 5 video games beginning with each letter of the alphabet? You can't say Super Mario Bros. 1, 2, and 3, but you could say Super Mario Bros. And Super Smash Bros. As one, because one is a fighter, the other is a platform game. So, the challenge is 5 games that start with each letter of the alphabet.
So we start with A and we all have to pick an A?
No, let's
Abadox.
we'll work together. I was going to say Abadox.
I took it.
That's why I love Sam. No,
I was gonna say
we're working
ActRaiser.
together. So Abadox, ActRaiser,
Altered Beast.
Alter Beast, Advanced Wars,
Yep.
and Athena. There was a game called Athena for
Yes,
NES.
that's
Adventure.
right. Athena.
Adventure.
Good.
All right. So B, Bomberman,
Battletoads.
Battletoads,
Bubble Wobble.
Bubble Bobble,
Blade and Barrel.
Blade and Barrel. We'll take the word for that.
It never came out. It was on N64.
Battlezone.
Battlezone's a good one.
Battlezone.
Yep.
So C,
Contra.
Commando,
Choplifter.
Choplifter.
Contra 3, The Alien Wars.
That's cheating.
No, we already did Contra.
What?
Yeah. Crash Bandicoot.
Crystal Castles.
Crystal Castles.
Chalk.
For D, Donkey
Chuck
Kong. Big
Doug.
Doug.
Defender.
Danganronpa.
Danganronpa. What'd you
Defender.
say? Defender, yeah.
Dragon Ball.
And
Z.
Darius.
Yeah,
Spin.
any of the
Maybe that's
Dragon Ball
what these
fighters.
Fighters.
No, we could do this.
So, all right, so E,
Earthbound.
Let's start at
Earthbound.
Z and go backwards.
Earthbound, EverQuest.
Yeah.
Oh.
Evermore.
Yeah.
Well,
Secret of
Evermore, Secret of.
Secret of.
there. It's fine. Count it.
What is that? Elantia. What is that RPG? God.
E's a harder one.
There's more ever. There's got to be more ever.
I mean,
End of
Eve Online. Okay,
Very
Eve
nice.
Online.
EverQuest. Do
we
say
already
that?
said
have
EverQuest.
EverQuest.
Yeah. We need 2 more for E.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just gonna make some up. Everblade. That's probably a
Totally.
game.
I mean,
Evo.
Evo.
Yeah.
The Search
Yeah.
for Eden.
Yeah, Evo the
Yeah.
Search for Eden. That's good.
Yeah. And then
Evolution something.
E.T. That's
Good
perfect.
one.
That's
Thanks for
perfect.
saving
That's
it. That's
perfect.
terrible.
Right, we
Why
got
is it
stuck
so
on
hard
E.
to get E?
because
All right,
we're still
F.
stuck on D.
F.
Five Nights at Freddy's.
Faxanadu.
Faxanadu. It's a really good
Final
one.
Fantasy.
Final Fantasy.
Flight
Final
Simulator 2.0.
Final Fight. Flight Simulator. Okay.
Okay.
G. Ghosts and Goblins.
Gradius.
Ghouls and Ghosts.
Gradius. No.
Goonies.
Goonies.
Okay.
Yeah, Goonies too.
Gorf.
Yeah, good one.
Dwarf. Grandia.
Yeah, good one.
Grandia.
Nice.
H.
Hellblade.
Hellblade. Yep.
There's so many
There's gotta be
hell
some,
ones.
right?
Yeah,
Helldivers.
Heavenly Sword.
Heavenly Sword.
Helldivers.
Helldivers.
Helldivers, yeah.
Hero.
No, for the old Atari one.
H.E.
Yeah. That's really good.
Hogan's Alley.
Hogan's
good one.
Alley. Yeah. Ice Climber.
Icarus. I'm a kid.
Ikari Warriors. 1, 2,
Ikari
3.
Warriors.
Ikaruga.
Yeah,
Ikaruga.
Ikaruga. Wow, that's
Yeah,
really good.
IK.
iRobot.
iRobot.
Yeah,
Wow, that's really
Probably,
good.
right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, it is?
No, that's a real arcade.
It's a really cool first 3D game ever.
Indie
looks-
game.
or Indiana Jones. Indiana
Indiana
Jones.
Jones. There you go.
And the Fate of Finland.
Indy
yeah, right?
500.
Yeah.
Yeah. J. Joust.
You took that one.
Jay's
We're all working together.
Jenga PlayStation Edition.
No, wait. Did they make a Jenga for Wii?
Yeah, they made it.
They had to have made a Jenga for
There was one.
Okay.
Something from
Toe
Jalico.
Jam and
No.
Nope.
What?
Jelly Car.
Oh. Wait. Jelly Car is a real game?
Yeah, there's also Jerry Boy or Jelly Boy.
yeah.
That's a real thing?
I swear.
Okay.
Look it up.
All right. All right. We just need one more J.
Job Simulator.
What's
Jaws.
Jet Set Radio?
And Job
Jaws,
Simulator.
Jet
Good
Set
one.
Radio,
Job Simulator.
Job Simulator.
K. Killer Instinct.
Kid Icarus.
Kung Fu.
Kid Icarus, Kung Fu,
Karateka.
Karateka, and
Clax.
Clax.
Oh, nice.
It is the 90s, and there was time for Clax. L. Lufia.
Legend of Dragoon.
Legend of
Legend of Zelda.
Legend of
Duh.
Zelda.
That's fine.
Yeah, I think that
Counts.
we need two more L's.
Legend of
Loom.
Lost Odyssey.
Lost Odyssey and Lollipop Chainsaw.
Nice.
Really good. For M, Mario's Missing.
Good one. That's really good.
Why that? That's
I
terrible.
thought Mario. I was trying to think of a Mario game that starts with Mario.
Monster Hunter.
Monster Hunter. Mega Man.
Yeah.
Monster Party.
Is that a real? Is that an NES
Yeah,
game?
that's the one where you
Yeah.
you fight the monster boss.
Mulaka.
Mulaka?
That's one of the indie games.
I was gonna say Madden, but
Madden.
It's good.
Madden, let's do it.
N.
Mm-hmm.
N. Never
Need
Winter
for
Nights.
Speed.
Need
Never
for
Winter-
Speed.
No More Heroes.
No More Heroes. Nights into Dreams.
9 Parchments.
That's a game?
We just talked about this.
No,
It's not. It's too new. My brain is not absorbing.
Ninja Gaiden.
From the Trine guys.
Ninja Gaiden.
Okay.
Oh, good.
Oh.
Okami.
Okami.
Yeah.
Uh,
And that's it. That's the only game with
Oogla?
O.
Oogla?
No, there's no such thing.
Wait. Isn't there an arcade game called Ooga Booga?
Isn't there Operation
caveman?
something?
Frog.
Operation Desert Storm?
Operation Wolf.
Operation Wolf. Wait, so we have what was Okami and Operation Wolf? Is that all we have?
We're in trouble here.
Onimusha.
Onimusha.
good. Nice.
Onimusha. Oh, Oni, right?
Oni.
Yeah, Bungie made
good.
that game.
They're very nice.
Oh.
Wow.
Then we only need one more for O.
Octodad.
Octodad.
Good one.
That's so good. That's so good. All right, P.
We started that with Operation
Puzzle
Wolf.
Bobble.
Puzzle Bobble.
Puzzle Quest.
Puzzle
Puzzle
Quest.
Quest.
Let's just do puzzles.
Puzzle Fighter.
Puzzle Fighter.
Yeah, Puzzle Fighter.
Nice.
Puyo
Yeah.
Puyo.
Puyo Puyo. So only puzzle games start with P.
And Puyan.
What's Puyam? Oh, that was the
the
pig
little
one.
pig.
Puyan.
Yeah. Okay.
Q.
Qbert.
Oh God, Q's bad kicks.
Kicks.
Yeah.
Quest.
Yeah, it's gotta be.
Quest
Quest
64.
64.
Yes.
Nailed it.
Is there something like?
There's gotta be more
Is that like
Quest.
Quartz?
There's got to be a quiz game.
Yeah, Quandary.
Yeah, Quiz Up or Quantum of Solace or
Quizzle.
Quantum of Solace. Is that the name of the game?
Oh well, there would have been a James Bond game called Quantum of Solace.
I mean that's a,
Wait, what's the newest
right?
game
We
called
totally
that has a
made
name
that
like
up.
that?
No, that's the latest James Bond.
No.
there may not
more
be a
and more.
Quantum of Solace game. You gotta put your.
How could there not have been a Quantum
I'm just
of
saying we
Solace
don't
game?
know that there is. We
What's the,
can't.
there's a new Quantum game. It's called
Quantum Conundrum.
No, Quantum.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the one
Quantum
from,
Conundrum.
from the Microsoft team.
Yeah. No, that's the. There's Quantic Dream, the developer.
But you got one of them.
Quantum
I
Conundrum.
bet you there's a game called Quagmire.
Yeah.
I just like that.
I think Quantum of Solace. It's a James Bond movie. Obviously, they made.
I'll allow
James
it.
Bond
It doesn't
game.
exist.
Good enough for me.
If we come up with another Q,
R. Rastan. Rygar.
River
City
City
Ransom.
Ransom. River Raid.
River Raid.
it's just all river games.
and one more R game.
Oh, there's
River
so
Raid.
many.
River Raid.
Did we already say that one?
Yeah.
Did
Oh,
you
you
already
had
say
that one?
Rastan?
Yeah.
We're out.
Yeah.
There
thank you,
is
Sean.
Quantum Solace. Yeah.
Yes.
We did it.
We need one more R game though.
Oh, there's just so many.
Rambo.
Rambo.
Oh,
yeah.
good. Well, you said Rambo.
So S has got to be the
Rambo
easiest
or
thing
Rambo?
ever. Super Mario Brothers.
Ready to rumble.
Oh yeah.
So we got
Strider.
Super
Strider.
Punch Out.
Sticks.
Super Punch Out. Jay, Sticks?
That's not a game.
You had to make up an S.
Well, Super Mario Brothers. Come on.
Shaq
we
Fu.
said that one, yeah. Shaq Fu.
Super
yes.
Smash Brothers.
Super Smash Brothers.
Super
okay.
Mario Kart.
T.
Trine.
Trine.
Tron.
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 Tetris.
Tetris. Petrosphere.
No.
What?
No.
It's
It's
a
a sequel.
different game. It's a ball.
That was their marketing tagline.
Uh-huh.
That's what it said on the back of the box. What did we say? Tron,
The Legend of
Tetris?
Zelda.
Yeah. No, we already did Zelda.
The
T.
guys, come on.
Turok.
Turok.
Is really good.
Dinosaur
Turok's really good.
Good.
And Tutankhamun.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tutankhamun.
Yeah. I like that game.
QRST.
U. Ultima.
Ultima.
Oh God, use
Yeah.
the Ultimate Ghouls and Ghosts.
Wait, is that a real thing?
I don't know. Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, it is.
Ultimate Ghouls
Yeah,
and Ghosts?
it is.
Okay. Unreal Tournament. Is really good.
Tournament.
Yeah.
Uni Racers.
Uni Racers on
really good.
Super Nintendo. Uni Racers.
I'm just trying to be cheap and come up with more games that start with Ultimate.
Nope. What?
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
There you go.
wait, no.
I always had.
Did you say Unreal Tournament?
Yeah, we had
We already said
Unreal.
Player Unknown Battleground.
Oh, man.
Ubisoft's greatest hits. Oh my God! Why is
Is there
U
not
so
one
hard?
more U?
Come on, we gotta have another U.
Ugly something.
Oh, ugly.
Yeah.
No.
Unbelievable.
Oh, man.
Untouchables for NES.
Oh yeah,
Yes,
that's right. Very good.
Untouchables. Woo.
Woo! Sorry for the dead air,
All
guy.
right, V. They get hard.
This
later
is
in
your
the
brain
alphabet.
gets a little mushy.
V Rally.
V
That's
Rally.
hard.
Yes.
Beautiful Joe.
Beautiful Joe. Nice.
Volleyball.
Volleyball. Yeah.
Voltron something.
Yeah, there's been Voltron games, sure. Vector Man.
Vector Man.
Vampire Masquerade.
Oh,
in case we don't want to count the Voltron something.
Very good.
W. What? Wario Land.
Yeah.
Wario
or
Land.
Wario versus
WarioWare.
Mario. WarioWare.
Does that count?
Wonder
Are those
Boy.
two different
Little
games.
different
Wonder Boy for sure.
Uh,
Was there like a Wily? Oh no.
There's that game Wild.
Wally
That got
something.
canceled.
Or it's just not out yet, right?
Warcraft.
Winter games. I'm so freaking old.
Winter games. And then there is that game Wild. There is, I just don't
So
think it's out yet.
Wrecking Crew.
Wrecking Crew. Okay, we'll take that one. X. Xevious.
Zybots.
Zybots.
X Zone.
X-Men.
What's the arcade?
X-Men and Spider-Man versus Arcade.
X-Men. Xenophobia.
Yeah.
And
Xenoblade.
Xenoblade.
Nice. I thought that was gonna be hard.
That's the easiest one.
Why?
Why not?
Oh, Yonoid.
No.
Perfect. Perfect.
Yonoid. Oh my God. Why is gonna be hard? No.
Yonoid. Okay.
You only live twice.
That's really good.
Wait,
James
yes,
Bond game.
yes. And then how about You Don't Know Jack?
Yep.
You don't know Jack. So the U's are good. Jaeger.
Yeah.
Well, which one is Jaeger?
Flight
It's a German-made game.
Okay. Wait, it's spelled with a Y?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. In that case.
All right, one more Y.
Ease.
Ease. Perfect.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And that brings us to Z.
Zork.
Zookeeper.
Zork, Zookeeper.
Zoo Tycoon.
Zoo Tycoon. Sure.
Zorro.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a Zorro
Super NES
game.
Blade.
Zap.
Or
Zap.
Z.
There's
Wait, was there a
Zaxxon?
Zap game with two Z's?
Zaxxon.
Zaxxon.
Wait, that may be an X game.
No, it's Z.
Z? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Zaxxon.
Yeah.
One more, and we have conquered this challenge.
Zombies ate my neighbors.
Yep. Zombies ate my neighbors. There we go.
Easy.
Man,
for the
I'm gonna
challenge.
have to go to sleep for 100 years now.
Thanks to challenge Bailey in Caregibby, Wales.
It's funny how your brain gets tired.
Yeah.
Mine does.
Hard to do
Wow.
that on spot.
Yeah.
But we did it.
I'm going to sleep now.
How are we going to do
Don't
20
go to sleep
questions?
yet because that brings us to
Go to sleep.
That brings us to Video Game 20 Questions. Our suggestion this week comes from Brad in California.
Don't screw us,
Oh,
Brad.
might be California games.
Let the questioning begin.
Does your character speak?
Can you clarify what you mean by speak?
Here we go.
Do they communicate in words that you can see on screen or hear spoken out loud?
Yes.
So I've never played this game. Is there any like tips? Like,
Yeah.
You've played this game.
Should I waste the question
Yes.
on whether it's 2D or something? Or
Yeah, just think of what you think the game might be, because he lives in California and
that's a total red herring.
and the
So what was the question and the answer to the first one?
pass through 2D, 3D?
I said,
Go
does
by
your
ears,
character
whatever.
speak?
Yeah, your character speaks.
He says yes.
Damon says
Is it a 2D game?
Parts of it are.
It's not a yes or no question answer.
Yeah.
Well, I'm trying to be.
That's nice.
Does it have multiplayer?
Yes.
Well, does it have cooperative multiplayer?
No.
So
If it's
versus.
turn-based.
We're way off the rails here, Sam. You got to rein us back in.
This is before 1990.
No. It's 5 questions.
Is this after the year 2010?
No.
Okay.
Is
So
it
1990 to 2010 is a 20-year window.
is it after the year two?
You don't need to ask it because he basically answered it.
How did he answer it? Did we
He
cheat
said
him?
he was about to say no to was it after 2000, so we know it's a 90s game.
Okay, we're
2010,
gonna
I
cheat you, Damon.
I said 2010.
I know.
Yeah,
but,
you were
but
very sneaky.
Oh, I see.
Okay, was this
Oh.
game exclusive to one platform
Yes.
at the time of its release?
Yes, it was.
was that a Nintendo platform?
No.
Sounds like a PlayStation game.
Or a
2D.
Genesis
Genesis game.
It's after 1990. Can still be, it's still in the
Play-
Genesis age.
PlayStation or Sega probably.
Sounds like Toe Jam and Earl.
That
That's not
has co-op.
No co-op.
Yeah, there's no co-op. I can't
So it's not
remember.
Toe Jam and Earl.
No, Toe
No,
Jam
he
and
said
Earl.
he said no co-op.
He said there's no, but Toe Jam was a great co-op game.
Okay, is this a game a PlayStation game?
Yes.
And by that he means PlayStation 1,
I did.
right? No, were there PlayStation 2 games in that era?
No.
Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna keep going. Was this game made by Sony?
No.
Is it a Japanese game?
That's 10, by the way.
Good question.
Is it a Japanese game? Yes.
Okay, so Japanese made PS1 game exclusive to the PS1, but not made by Sony. So that's
Yeah.
Capcom and
No multiplayer co-op, but multiplayer.
yeah, it did have multiplayer and your character.
it has 2D and 3D.
Semi 2D. So Symphony of the Night, I would just call that a 2D game though.
What's
Yeah,
the
there's no
what's the
3D.
multiplayer?
No
in it?
multiplayer.
No multiplayer. You're right. What about Klonoa? That was probably single player only.
I was gonna say Klonoa, but I don't know that game at all.
Well, no, it's 3D.
it's
2D.
2.5D,
Yeah.
but the multiplayer thing it doesn't fit.
No.
Yeah, unless you can trade off levels or like, yeah.
Do you control some sort of ship or craft in this game?
No, you do
So
not.
It's a character-based game. That wasn't the question. I was just saying.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so we could narrow it down. So we know it's Japanese. So we could get it down to a developer if we want. It's not Sony, so it could be Konami, Capcom.
So we're talking
we
about
don't
like
have a lot of questions.
they're the Metal Gears. They're what were the kind of the big PlayStation hits?
that were 2D
Yeah.
/ 3D.
Yeah, there's the Tomb Raiders and the.
The 2.5D thing. Not
That's-
that we know
that's-
it's 2.5D, but that question's tripping me up.
Me
What,
too.
What about Jack and Daxter or Ratchet and Clank or any of those?
Those are American made.
Those are all American for sure.
Yeah,
Those aren't maybe
Yeah,
not
'cause it's like-
PlayStation 90s era too.
you picked something really really tough there. No.
Yeah, this one might be hard for us. Well, I've never played PlayStation, so I don't know.
Oh, I did.
It's hard for me.
I played a lot.
Yeah, me
But
too.
I can't figure this out.
Is this an RPG?
It's multiplayer.
It has RPG elements.
Did you count that as a no?
No.
No. I thought I saw a little finger move.
It was a question.
That's just-
I answered a question.
Oh, I see. The question was.
But I would say no. It's not. If you're thinking like PlayStation era RPGs like Final Fantasy VII, it's not that kind of game.
So it's like a Secret of Mana type. No, that was co-op though. The multiplayer thing is really confusing.
Yeah.
Does this have sequels?
Yes.
It could be Monster Hunter.
That wasn't on
There's
PlayStation.
no 2D though.
It was on
Right.
PlayStation 2 first and then PSP.
Yeah.
No one knows.
No, it was. I just talked to Casey about that the other day. I'm pretty sure.
Brain, what that could be. Jesus, man.
Could it be a PlayStation?
So is the
2
next
or-
question game's over and you got to guess it, or do you have to guess
No,
it?
you have
on
6 questions left.
6. I see.
And we're just assuming it's on PlayStation. So
You
just so
ask
we're all
if it's a
clear
Japanese
here.
developer. Should we try and narrow down the developer? Maybe that might
That's what
help.
Sam was suggesting. Sure, we can.
But we don't have enough. We have so few questions. If there's anything better to like cut out big wedges of games, then it would be better to do that. Like genre is really good.
Well, we
can
can
ask
already ask if
fantasy.
it's a Japanese developer.
We did.
Yeah. You say yes. You want to ask if it's like fantasy or sci-fi or something like that? That might help us.
Yeah, those are good questions too.
Is it a fantasy game?
Yes.
Okay.
That's 15 questions. 5 left.
Fantasy game on the PlayStation.
Ape Escape.
Has RPG elements. Made in Japan.
Yeah, has competitive
2D and 3D.
has competitive multiplayer.
Has competitive multiplayer.
I know that's the one that's tripping me up too.
Or just turn. You can trade off.
This is not some Chrono Cross. Like no.
What about like an RTS of some kind or strategy something?
There wasn't anything. There was Command and Conquer, like just console ports of that, but
Yeah,
StarCraft.
StarCraft 64 that wasn't on the PlayStation.
PS1. I don't know.
Fantasy.
I mean, yeah.
Could
So
it
it could be like Parappa the Rapper, or that one was single player only, but a game like that.
Can't be Dragon Quest because that'd be RPG. Can't be Final Fantasy. That'd be RPG. Are there any spin-offs like the tactics games? Maybe
And there's lots of sequels.
There's,
Or
like,
there's sequels.
Tactics.
So it's something we know. It's
and
something we know really well.
Final
It's
Fantasy
obvious.
Tactics.
Is this a franchise that's like
What if it's
still
like-
going today?
I don't think so.
Oh,
No.
okay. Because I was gonna say like Dynasty Warriors or something like that.
Would have been a good guess.
That's 3D through and through, though. This is terrible, Damon. You just
This is the
pulled
game.
out the obscure one here.
No?
What about Oh, jeez. And you said that you don't think it's still going today?
I don't think so.
Could be something. I mean, this was American made, but like something like Oddworld
Yeah.
or one of those like puzzle platformers, fantasy based puzzle platformer of some kind.
It's not. So it's fantasy, but you guys said it's not an RPG. Is that right?
Right.
Or it is?
It has RPG elements.
RPG
he said.
It's
elements.
RPG elements.
So you
but
might be
it's-
able to upgrade your character or something, but you're not playing turn-based battles like.
Should we
Dragon
ask
Quest.
if it was like if it's highly scored? Sometimes we ask that. Would that help you guys at all?
It probably is though. I mean, I assume like
Okay.
at
Maybe
this
he doesn't know.
Yeah.
Does he know?
point. Yeah. So yeah.
Or like well regarded, or like on
Yeah.
our top 100 list that we did, or something like that.
was it like a this is a PS2 game, like an Odin Sphere style, like 2D, 3D action adventure RPG, something back then.
Are you asking me?
No, I'm asking them.
He's just riffing.
I'm just trying to picture what kind of game it can be. I'm still just picturing Klonoa. That's the problem.
Well, should we just ask if it's like what perspective it is, like top down, or
Yeah, it could be something. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
But
so? What are our options? First person, top down,
2D.
or
Side-
or
from
side
side.
scrolling?
how can it be first person if it's 2D?
I don't know. That's what's so confusing about this.
Is this from a side scrolling perspective? Seen from a side scrolling perspective?
No,
Wow.
it's not.
Isometric maybe?
Like,
I feel like it would
are there
ask-
Diablo-like games for that system?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What would
you
be a
could right.
fantasy Diablo
like an
type game
isometric.
from?
Well, Diablo.
Yeah, but it's PlayStation.
Oh,
exclusive.
Yeah,
like
on
the Bart's Tale or any of the
that was PS2.
Baldur's Gate. Baldur's Gate was on PS2.
Or Gauntlet Legends?
Huh? But
Yeah.
that's not from Japan. Gauntlet is not from Japan.
It's co-op.
But you're on the right track, I bet.
Fantasy. Dragon's Lair.
Oh,
No.
That's not Japan.
Yeah, well, I'm also zeroing in on PlayStation exclusive.
And yeah, this has to be 90s PlayStation.
Oh, it's PlayStation
maybe.
exclusive. That's right.
3 questions to go.
Is this an isometric perspective game?
No. That leaves 2 questions, a question and a guess.
We're in
What
real
we're down
trouble
to.
here.
We should just find a company and see if it's made by that company, like Capcom or Konami or something like
Make
that. See if that
is
helps.
a shot in the dark.
Which would you want to choose, Capcom or Konami? No, probably Square, maybe
could be like yeah,
Square Enix.
Square.
That's fantasy.
Because if they say it's Square Enix, then
None of
maybe-
those games have multiplayer.
No, but it could be
Square only made
Natsume
Secret
or
of Mana with multiplayer.
Yeah.
Like
I
nothing.
feel like Capcom was a little bit more prolific.
What about like Natsume games or Bandai? Do you guys know these at all?
I'm still tripped up by it not being cooperative multiplayer, like a competitive, a game with a competitive multiplayer element that's fantasy themed and has RPG-ish elements.
Well, maybe it's a puzzle game,
Yeah.
right?
Totally.
Like a fantasy-themed puzzle game.
Yeah.
You play all those.
I do play all those.
Like
The
Bust a
puzzle
Move?
quest kind of thing. They're not. Yeah, none of them are fantasy.
I don't have it.
Oh man. I mean, to me, it's like something like Final Fantasy Tactics, but you
It's
know that one has competitive multiplayer, doesn't it?
No.
Doesn't it have versus?
No.
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 I don't want to do this. I'm out of my element here.
We gotta bring it home.
Yeah.
We have 2 questions left.
When we ask if
Two
it's
questions left.
You want to ask if it's Capcom?
How about if we just asked if it's side scrolling?
No, we did. He said no.
No. He asked if it's
We asked side scrolling and we asked isometric, and they were both no.
so it's top down maybe.
Yeah. Well, Tactics would have been isometric.
Yes, that has to be top down.
Or should we just ask that just so we know?
Just yes,
that help you
yes,
guys
that's
at all?
it's as good a question, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, is it a top-down perspective game?
No.
What the
What
hell?
the freak? What is
What
this
are
game?
you doing to us, Steven?
You made this
What
up.
are you doing to us?
Oh, that actually helps.
All right, we're at our last question. So we got
It's not top-down.
So it's probably like a puzzle game or a first
Yeah.
person game.
It's well, then that's going to bring up the question.
It's Kylek the
This
Blood,
is
isn't
this
it?
is Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine all over again.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It's like
Where,
one of
I
those.
forget what were we arguing about, whether you were playing as Dr. Robotnik in that game,
Yeah.
and then it's like
that
no,
was
but
Dr. Mario.
you see, yeah. Okay, Perry, let me ask you this: would you say you're playing as Dr. Mario in Dr. Mario?
Yeah, yeah. You're just
No, you're controlling the pills.
You are Dr. Mario.
Not really.
Ah.
I feel like he's just a referee. He's like standing around there.
all right.
What
What
has sequels, guys? Just come up with a game that has sequels.
a 90s
difficult.
PlayStation game, a 90s PlayStation fantasy game that had sequels
Like Onimusha or something.
and is not viewed from either a 2D or isometric or
Does
top-down
Onimusha
perspective.
count?
God of War.
Yeah. What's that? No, it's after that. What's that vampire
So not
game that
Japanese.
a Naughty Dog made?
Vampire?
Oh wait, no, that's US.
Naughty Dog is also not Japanese.
Yeah.
Valkyria Chronicles.
Should I reveal?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
okay.
give up.
Released in 1997, published and developed by Tecmo.
Uh-oh.
What?
We here yet?
Hold on. Is there a Ninja Gaiden from that era?
No.
This is
Would be considered a
fantasy
life
football.
sim
What the hell?
game. Viewed mostly from a first-person perspective, but with 2D elements that brings up your character during dialogues.
E-Man?
It is Monster Rancher.
Oh man, I'd have never gotten that in a million years.
No?
I totally
I've never really
forgot.
heard of that.
I don't think I would
Monster
call that a 2D.
It's a first-person game.
I said there are 2D elements. Parts of it are.
game.
all of the art,
text.
all of the art of your characters is 2D representation.
like the character portraits are the parts of the game that you call 2D.
Yeah. Are they not 2D?
No, they're not.
They're not?
If you're playing
They are.
if you're playing a 3D RPG, but your character like you have 2D character portraits in Persona 5, you would never call that a 2D game.
Star
Yeah,
Fox
I guess
has
so.
2D.
I mean, I
character
wasn't
portraits.
trying
Yeah.
to mislead you. I was just.
I don't think I would have guessed it even without that.
I don't. Yeah.
I
Justin's
was
like, I
just
was
not-
gonna say Monster Rancher,
No.
but when you said, "What's the multiplayer?"
There's 2-player verses in it.
All right.
What?
Yeah.
What kind of game is Monster Rancher?
You so
Is that the
Sam.
one with the CDs where you,
You put
the CDs
a
in?
CD, a music CD
is
in
that
your
one.
PlayStation, and it generates a monster based on the CD.
I
deck.
wanted that so bad at the time.
It sounded awesome.
Yeah. And then
Well,
and even like if you put in certain Christmas CDs, it would create like a Santa monster for you.
Well, thanks for picking something absolutely impossible.
See, I don't think that's impossible.
Well,
I
totally
played that game.
impossible.
They had a lot of sequels. They made like 10 of those games for
Really?
PlayStation
Wow.
1 and 2. Yeah.
I never played one, but I always coveted them. I was always so intrigued by each of
Tecmo.
your CDs becoming.
I want to hear if any of your listeners guessed that one. What is
I
the
mean-
email? Gamescoop@ign.com?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, email us if you
Or just hit
actually
us up
guessed
on
it.
Twitter and let us know.
Exactly. That's amazing.
Brad C. from California suggested that one. Yeah, I wasn't trying to mislead anyone about the 3D thing. I know your monsters are rendered in 3D and they fight in a coliseum in
Yep.
3D, but then everything else, like your interactions with other people, is like.
I don't know
2D
enough about it. I
images.
never actually have played the game. I don't know if it's. It might just be like a menu based game mostly. Like you might not
Yeah.
even move around.
Yeah, I don't think you actually. I think you just go from like screen to
Yeah.
screen. Like I'm at home now, and now I'm
Yeah.
at the Coliseum.
Yeah. You might be right.
Anyway, thanks for playing, everybody.
That was
a
amazing.
valiant.
That was
Thank
a
you,
really,
mean,
really
mean
tough
man.
one.
I'm not a mean man. That is all the scoops we have for you this week. Remember, if you would like to be the proud owner of $500 worth of PlayStation Store credit, if you are a podcast listener, email
Send
me.
us something better than Monster Rancher.
Email a 20-question suggestion to gamescoop@ign.com. Put 450 in the subject line and include a little screenshot of your GameScoop subscription. If you watch us on YouTube, youtube.com/GameScoop, just provide a comment down below with a 20 questions suggestion, and we'll pick one out that way.
But we're going to see all those.
Yeah, we'll see hundreds of them.
Yeah, I know. You're not going to read all of them, Sam.
You're gonna go.
Read all of them.
I'm watching.
That's our show this week. Thank you, Justin. Thank you, Sam. Thank you, Pear.
Thank you, sir.
My name is Damon. This is IGN GameScoop, and we're out.
Games galore.
Yeah.